Thank you. Well, this is the program that you're hearing papers. These papers all spun out of a program we did together last summer. And last summer was the third iteration of this program. This program taught by Dean Chun, Professor Morrison, and myself. And it's the set of courses, it's a 3-credit program, and the set of courses focus on the basin of the Yangtze River and the great new cities that are coming into existence, that have come into existence in the Yangtze River basin. So we start in Sichuan, then we go to, this year actually we went to Chengdu, which is further west of Chongqing, where we started. And then we did the Yangtze River cruise, and we didn't go to Wuhan, we went to Nanjing and to Shanghai. So we're thinking about, in the program, again, the history of these cities, the urban sociology, how they're developing as settings for the lives of a vast number of people today, and then we also are thinking about the environmental ramifications of the growth of these enormous Yangtze River megacities. And the 4 papers you're going to hear today are all absolutely excellent. They're superb papers that came out of this summer project. Scotty Eckenthal looked at the way in which glamour districts are developing in certain parts of China. And this is a phenomenon that we saw in a number of the cities that we visited, and he took this on as a subject to explore. Some of these so-called glamour districts they're formed around existing old parts of the city. Some of them have a kind of Disneyland-like quality, which I'm sure he'll tell you about that. One area he studied, Xintiandi in Shanghai, is of that kind. Then the second talk today is Brooke Grasberger's talk. Brooke comes from a very ancient New England town, the town of Salem, and she, starting point of her paper about preservation culture was a description of how that has played out in American cities in New England, and then she looked at China's up to now somewhat more casual view of preservation matters. In some cases, preservation policy has not been what it maybe could be, and so she thought about the present, the current status quo when it comes to preservation, and how things might be better in the future. Then Holly Maykow looked at air and water pollution, focusing strictly on Shanghai, which is the largest of the cities that we visited. Shanghai is a city which, because of its size and the rapidity with which it's grown, faces major challenges in maintaining air, water quality. And this was a very lucid description of how these challenges are being met. And then the 4th report today will be by Gaurav Toor, titled "Who Killed the Yangtze River?" This was a great and imaginative paper in which he proceeded like a detective to understand what factors have caused the death of certain habitats in the Yangtze River, and how the Yangtze River has been changed by the building of dams, and the growth of huge human communities, not just the megacities and super cities in the Yangtze River basin, but also smaller cities that pollute on the banks of the Yangtze River. Very interesting paper, one in which Gaurav did a good job of unraveling what's happened to the Yangtze. So with that said, this program will be running this year for those of you who might be interested. We're doing it a little differently this year. If you were interested in participating, we will have a 1-credit course next semester, which will serve as kind of a launch for the summer program. And the summer program this year will focus on the city of Chongqing. We'll do a little work in the Yangtze River Basin, but then we will be moving to the Maykow, and we will be where there are a lot different problems when it comes to urbanization, building of social spaces, and also history, jurisdiction that exists in the Yangtze River Basin. So if you're interested in that, you can talk to either any of us, Professor Chung, Professor Morrison, myself, and we'll be happy to fill you in. But so that if you were to do that, that would mean that you would be, it's 3 credits. You would be getting 3 credits. 1 credit for the spring course, and then 2 credits or 2.5 credits maybe for the work that we do in the summer. Okay, thank you, and let me introduce Scotty, who I think is going to go first.
Hi everybody, how you doing? My name is Scotty Eckenthal. I am a senior double major in mathematics and computer science, so please excuse me in advance for my sheer incompetence when it comes to anything that actually does this relevant. My talk today, actually I should probably, my talk today is called, if it works, Bottom Up to Top Down, Cultural Sustainability of Glamour-Driven Redevelopment Strategies in Shanghai. I chose to focus on glamour because I am personally obsessed with the idea of authenticity, aesthetics, all sorts of really, really intricate, silly, philosophical things that have to do with how things look and how things feel. But, you know, I'm just going to hop right into it because I don't have much time. So the first thing I'd like to talk about is what is a glamour zone? And I'm going to put a definition here, just mathematically, that's what I work with. I work with definitions. A glamour zone is an area of cultural significance that has been redeveloped while keeping its original structures intact so as to increase visitorship and consequently commercial growth. As Professor West mentioned, typically in China at least, the glamour zones that we visited, a lot of them have historical significance, and the historical significance is basically used as that point around which the visitorship is supposedly going to increase, and then the commercial growth as a result. And I mean, they're not only in China, they're all over the world. They're in the U.S. as well. You can see right over to our east, Quincy Market in Boston, and to our west, South Street Seaport in New York City. Great examples of historical areas that have been converted into kind of touristy attractions. Also in China, we visited several of them. One of them, the Hongyedong Hotel in Chongqing, was not actually a historical district to begin with. It was kind of this touristy compound that they built into a mountain, and it's pretty cool, but yeah. And also Quanzhai Lane, a former Manchu neighborhood in the city of Chengdu, now a beautiful neighborhood filled with nightlife, restaurants, boutiques, etc. So, according to Professor Huang Lin of Chongqing University, who we met and spoke with at great length, there are 4 main measures of success when you're talking about how to measure how successful a glamour-driven redevelopment process is. And that's basically what we're going to be doing today with regard to 2 glamour districts. One is the commercial growth, obviously, how much money results from redeveloping the area. Another is the architectural preservation. How true to the original architecture is the new redeveloped area? Hopefully completely, but not necessarily always the case. Another one is the retaining of residents, which is really tricky because when you're redeveloping an area, you typically have to move all sorts of people that currently live there, hopefully temporarily, sometimes permanently. So that's a several-pronged issue. And also the cultural sustainability, which is what we're really going to be focusing on. And I don't want to talk about it quite yet because I want to talk about it when we get there. So before I talk about the two glamour districts that we're going to focus on, Xintiandi and Tianzifeng, I'd like to talk about the Alleyway House, which is the architectural, I guess, epicenter that really makes these two areas really beautiful and really historically important in addition to their own historical significances.